When 21-year-old Maya Thompson was suddenly fired from her janitor job at Crestwood High, she felt the weight of the world crash down on her shoulders. No goodbye, no second chance, just a cold dismissal that left her heart pounding and hopes fading. But just hours after that painful moment, something happened that would turn her life upside down forever. What started as a desperate walk home turned into a heroic rescue that shocked an entire city. And 24 hours later, 4 luxury cars arrived. At her doorstep, but no one could have predicted why Maya Thompson stood outside the school's back entrance, clutching the crumpled termination letter in her hand. The cold autumn wind bit through her thin jacket as she struggled to hold back tears. The principal's words still echoed in her mind, dry and indifferent. "We appreciate your work, Maya, but your position has been eliminated effective immediately." No warning, no explanation, just like that. The job she had depended on for years was gone. For 2 years, Maya had cleaned classrooms, swept halls, and emptied trash bins silently, always with a smile that masked the exhaustion beneath. Her paycheck barely covered the bills, but it kept a roof over her and her younger brother's heads and food on the table. Now, walking alone through the empty school grounds, her shoes scuffed and damp from the morning rain, Maya felt invisible. The few teachers she passed didn't even glance her way. She felt small, forgotten. Turning onto the cracked sidewalk that led to her small apartment, Maya's mind raced with worry. Her brother was counting on her. Their mother had left years ago, and it was up to Maya to hold their fragile little family together. The thought of going home empty-handed, without any hope of a new job, made her chest tighten. Then, just as she reached the busy intersection at Elm and 5th, something terrible happened. A loud, sickening crash echoed through the street. Ahead, an elderly man stumbled and collapsed hard onto the wet pavement, his shopping bag spilling across the road. Traffic screeched to a halt, horns blaring, but no one moved. People pulled out their phones, but no one stepped forward to help. Without thinking, Maya dropped her bag and ran into the street. Cars swerved and drivers shouted, but she didn't hear a thing. Kneeling beside the man, she felt his faint pulse and saw his pale face, struggling to breathe. Wrapping her arms around him, she shielded him from the chaos of the traffic. "Call an ambulance," she yelled, but the crowd was frozen, silent. With trembling fingers, she pulled out her cracked phone and dialed 911 herself. Minutes dragged on like hours. Maya stayed by the man's side, whispering words of comfort, refusing to let fear or exhaustion take over. When the ambulance finally arrived, paramedics took over, and one looked at her with a strange, knowing expression, as if he saw a hidden strength she didn't know she had. Maya limped home that evening, knees bruised and clothes soaked through. She barely noticed the cold or the pain. Something inside her had shifted. What happened next would blow her mind. The following morning, Maya woke to a flood of messages on her phone. Unknown numbers, strangers praising her bravery. A video had gone viral, footage of her rushing into danger, protecting the man with nothing but courage and determination. The clip had been shared millions of times, turning Maya from a quiet janitor's daughter into an overnight sensation. Her inbox overflowed with offers of help, jobs, and support. But the most shocking message was an email from a prestigious law firm. The man she saved was no ordinary stranger. He was Victor Harland, CEO of Harland Enterprises, a billionaire philanthropist, known for his secretive generosity and influence. He was recovering and insisted that his team find Maya, the girl who saved his life. An hour later, a sleek black car pulled up outside Maya's modest apartment. Nervous but curious, she stepped inside and was driven through the city to a towering glass building. Staff members greeted her with awe. They had all seen the video. Maya was led into a spacious office where Victor sat, his face pale but eyes bright as he smiled at her. "You saved my life," he said quietly, "and I will never forget it." His words carried a weight that made Maya's heart race. For the first time, she realized her life was about to change in ways she never imagined. Victor Harland's gaze held a quiet intensity as he leaned forward. "Maya, I have spent decades building businesses and helping others. But I've never seen such courage, without expecting anything in return. What you did, risking your own life, to save a stranger, is rare and precious. Maya felt her throat tighten. She never saw herself as a hero, just someone trying to do the right thing. Victor continued, I want to offer you an opportunity, not just a job, but a chance to change your life and your brother's future. Before Maya could respond, his assistant stepped in with an envelope. Inside was a letter offering Maya a position with Harland Enterprises, one that came with benefits, a steady income, and support beyond anything she had ever dreamed of. But that wasn't all. Victor's voice lowered as he shared his next words. You'll find that sometimes kindness returns in ways you never expect. In the next 24 hours, you will see just how far your bravery can take you. Maya left the office in a daze, still trying to process everything. As she stepped outside, 4 luxury cars, sleek, shining symbols of success, pulled up in front of the building. One after another, the doors opened, and Victor's team stepped out, each car reserved for Maya. The news spread fast. Local headlines called her the janitor's daughter turned hero. Social media exploded with support and admiration. People who had ignored her at the school now saw her in a completely new light, but Maya remained humble. She knew this was only the beginning. The money, the attention, the fancy cars, none of it changed the girl who had walked home soaked and tired just a day before. Over the next few days, Victor personally mentored Maya. He introduced her to opportunities in education and business, helping her build skills she never thought she had. Maya's brother started at a new school with better resources, and their small apartment began to feel like home again, filled with hope instead of worry. Yet, beneath the surface, Maya wondered about the man who had become her unexpected benefactor. What was his story? Why did he choose her? And what did the future hold for both of them? One thing was clear. Maya's life had changed forever. From the shadows of a quiet janitor's job to the spotlight of a life filled with promise, her journey was just beginning. And as she looked back on that cold, rainy day, she realized sometimes, in the darkest moments, a single act of courage can light the way to a brand new world.